This is From the Rock to the Hill, your weekly breakdown of political news from Newfoundland and Labrador and across Canada.
Welcome to From the Rock to the Hill for this week. I'm Kyle Brookings. This week we'll talk about the provincial upcoming budget, and we'll also dive into some national news as well. We'll start out with provincial politics. The big story this week, of course, is the announcement of the budget. Minister of Finance Craig Pardy will deliver the budget on Wednesday, April 29th. This will be the first budget of the new PC government. The budget will be delivered in a speech at 2 o'clock p.m., which is, of course, 1:30 in most of Labrador, and Newfound News will have coverage on that. Also happening this week, the provincial government says it plans to adopt all recommendations from the Auditor General on the emergency management front, while also pointing to progress in strengthening fraud risk oversight across government. The Minister of Forestry, Agriculture and Lands, Minister Pleeman Forsey, said government accepts all 10 recommendations from the audit on emergency management and business continuity planning. The department, which recently assumed responsibility for emergency services, has already begun addressing several issues raised in the report. That includes things like monitoring business continuity plans across departments, overseeing municipal emergency management plans, and revising the provincial emergency management plan. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Craig Pardy said progress has been made in response to separate audit on fraud risk management. Pardy said the Office of the Comptroller General has updated and strengthened the government's fraud management policy and established clear expectations for fraud prevention, reporting on annual risk assessments across departments and public entities. So right now, mandatory fraud awareness training, that is ongoing for government employees, and additional audit resources have also been put in place to improve the monitoring of fraud-related activity. And finally, this week, the provincial government announced a plan to keep electricity rates down. There is an electricity rate increase set for July 1st, and the government has instructed Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro to apply $45 million from the Rural Rate Alteration Account to offset costs linked to Newfoundland Power. So with the credit applied, the island residential customers should not have to pay 7%. That should drop by about 2.25%. The province has asked Hydro, Newfoundland Power, and the PUB to ensure the credit is applied transparently. It's also calling for a longer-term plan to manage the remaining balance in the account. While the move lowers the July increase, it relies on a one-time adjustment, so that does raise some questions about how future rate pressures will be addressed. We'll take a look at what's going on in federal politics in just a moment. In federal politics, the Government of Canada has approved a major natural gas infrastructure project in British Columbia that is aimed at increasing supply and supporting exports. The Sunrise expansion program will move ahead. It allows for a $4 billion upgrade to Enbridge's West Coast pipeline system. So the project is expected to add up to 300 million cubic feet per day of capacity to the province's main natural gas and transmission network. So the additional supply will be used to heat homes and businesses, support industrial activity, and help meet demand tied to export developments as well. Construction is expected to begin this summer, and the federal government says the project will create about 2,500 jobs at peak construction and generate more than $700 million in tax revenue for federal and provincial governments. Ottawa says the expansion could contribute more than $3 billion to Canada's gross domestic product by improving access to overseas markets, mostly in Asia, and it is part of a broader effort to diversify trade. And finally, Prime Minister Mark Carney issued an address to Canadians this week, calling Canada's ties to the United States a weakness.
Many of our former strengths, based on our close ties to America, have become our weaknesses that we must correct. Workers in our industries most affected by U.S. tariffs, in autos, in steel, in lumber, are under threat. Businesses are holding back investments, restrained by the pall of uncertainty that's hanging over all of us. The U.S. has changed, and we must respond.
This is as Canada attempts to negotiate a new trade deal with the United States. As we get ready to tie up our show for this week, what are you hoping for in the budget? And what are your thoughts on Prime Minister Mark Carney's address? You can let us know by email. It's info@newfoundnews.ca, or you can call us at 709-325-7011. That's our show for this week, and I'll see you back here next week.
This has been From the Rock to the Hill. Thank you for listening.